Guess what, y'all? It's story time. What's up, fam? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. As you all know, I'm Cherie Monique. Welcome and welcome back. And today I want to go ahead and just jump right into it. But before we do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll give you a few. All right, that's enough time. Let's get into the story. All right, so as y'all know, this is the series about my toxic ex, and this is part 4. So if you want to know what's been going on, make sure you check out part 1, 2, and 3, because if you don't, you're going to be kind of lost. With that said, so the last time I said, we had made it home from the movies. We were arguing and whatnot, talked about the issue. He went to the restroom. I found out that some girl was texting him and was like, when you coming? Long story short, it didn't end good. That night we got into it. And when I say got into it, it was like pushing, shoving, like literally we got into it. And it went on for a while. Now, as it was going on, my roommates, they were at the house. And whenever my roommates, heard anything going on between us, they always made sure, they started banging on the door. Hey, you good in there or whatnot? So that's what happened this time. My homegirl, she started banging on the door. Hey, Ree, you good in there? And I was like, yeah, T, I'm good. I'm good to go. Don't even worry about it. At that time, when Luke heard that, he collected himself. He stopped pretty much shoving me and trying to bear hug me, doing just stupid stuff because he knew he was wrong. He was the type that never wanted to face his issues or anything, blah, blah, blah. He was the type that never wanted to be wrong about anything. So, boom. Once he collected himself, he gathered his stuff and he was like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. I'ma leave, blah, blah, blah. So he left. Now, as he was leaving, I was talking about junk. I was like, you don't even have to come back. Don't worry about me. I don't need you. Blah, blah, this, that. It was just, oh, man, that relationship was toxic, y'all. So he gathers his stuff. And I remember, though, as he was leaving, he was so petty. As he was leaving out of my room, he goes and shoves me one more time. And that time, when he shoved me, it caused me to hit the wall. And I kind of slid down the wall. But it wasn't a super hard shove, but it did knock me off balance. And it caught me off guard because I was like, okay, he's about to leave, so it is what it is. So after he did that, I literally just sat there and I remember I bust out laughing. I was like, man, Lord, I know not. I know I cannot keep dealing with this. And it's crazy because the relationship was still fairly new. So it was just a bunch of nonsense. So after that, he left. I remember my homegirl T, she stopped by my room door. She knocked on the door. She was like, hey, Reed, you good? Everything's good. All right, so after T came by the room, we had all a discussion. I talked to her about it. And, she gave me some advice, and then after that, she dipped. Well, once that was done, I think that day pretty much I just kept to myself. I stayed in my room. I did a few things, cleaning up, just trying to take my mind off the situation at hand. So after that day was done and gone. The next day, I don't think I spoke to Luke for 2 or 3 days. On my end, I was like, you know what? This stuff is getting stupid. I'm really tired of it. I don't really want to deal with him. And he did text me here and there, but it was nothing consistent. It was just more so to see if I would respond to him. And he saw that I wasn't responding. So around that 3rd or 4th day, he started calling and texting even more. He started texting more and then started to call. And that's when I was like, you know what, something is seriously wrong with him. I bet he's going to try to act like nothing happened. So I decided to answer the phone. I was like, yeah. He was like, hey, baby, how you doing? I miss you and all this. And I was like, Lord, something is seriously wrong with this dude. I was like, what are you calling me for? I just wanted to see if you wanted to go out today and, I love you. And it was just a whole bunch of nonsense. So from that moment, I was like, nah, I'm really not feeling, going out with you or whatever. He was like, look, I know I'm really sorry for what happened. I was just really upset. You know how I am. I get jealous and this, that, and the third. And I said, okay, but are you forgetting the part where you had a girl texting you asking where you were, if you were going to come over So anyway, we had a long discussion about that situation, and at the end of the day, what did I do? I decided to go out with them. But that night when we did go out, it was pretty good. It was chill. It was weird, but it was like a chill vibe. So there was no arguments, no confrontation, nothing like that. We went to, I want to say Cheddar's. No, we went somewhere that night. I don't even remember. So where our school is, there's not a whole bunch of restaurants around. So if I start mentioning some of the same restaurants from time to time, it's because there's maybe there at that time there was like a select few around, and they were working on building up the area or what have you. So anyway, we went out that night. Nothing really happened that night, and he came back to my place. Excuse me, he came back to my place. We decided to talk some more about some stuff, and then that was it. Sure enough, 2 weeks went by, things were good, and then shortly after that, some more nonsense started to develop. So this particular night, his parents was due to come in town. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this. I promise y'all, I'm not crazy. I'm not silly how I was before. I'm not silly anymore. I've grown. I was 19, 20 then. I'm not now. But anyway. So his parents called and it was like, hey, we want to take the two of you out to dinner on this date or whatever. Make sure y'all ready. We just wanted to see how things are going with y'all, just to get y'all out, because we were college kids, so it wasn't like we was always going out and doing things. So I told him, I said, okay, cool, I'll go. I think I went like working out or something that day, came back home, and this happened to be a weekend. So after, no, this was during summer school. So yeah, so this happened to be during summer school. My bad, y'all. So I ended up working out. I did my summer class, I worked out, and then I went home. And I wanted to go home kind of early because I needed to get a nap and everything. Took my shower, lay down, got a nap, got up. And when I got up, I started preparing for our little dinner night or whatnot. So here it is. I'm getting prepared. I'm texting Luke. No response. Now, he wasn't, football and things like that and football camp. However, they were a little more lenient the older the longer you've been there and the more you've shown yourself and show that you can handle the football world and your athletics, the more you can handle football and the more you can handle like your studies and your courses and everything and things were looking good, they'll be a little less like tight on you and a little more lenient. So he was like, he was due to call me back or whatever. Didn't call back, didn't pick up the phone. I called him, I texted him, I called him, I texted him. And the reason why I did that because I'm like, okay, we gotta go meet your parents. Like, am I meeting you at your place? You coming to meet me? Am I meeting you directly there? What's going on? So after a while, there was no response, and it was literally nearing, like, it was like 30 minutes before we were supposed to meet them. And I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? I don't know why, but literally my gut, like, just, I remember having the most uneasy feeling about the situation. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to be negative. Like, I know he wouldn't do anything crazy tonight. Like, his parents are coming to see us. So, here it is. Another 10 minutes go by. Nothing. After calling and texting again, I say, you know what, forget it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop by Walmart, and then I'm going to go to the location to meet his parents. If he show, he show. He don't, he don't. More than likely though, he's probably already there and just acting like a butthole, because he would have these random moments where he like act like he didn't want to talk or be bothered. So here it is. I remember hopping in my car, and the Walmart that I went to was maybe 10 minutes away. So that's another 10 minutes, and that would have gave me 10 more minutes before it was time for us to meet. But I said, let me run to the Walmart. I think I was getting like some gum, some water, some little things like that. That way when I was done with them, I'd just go straight back home and like study and then be ready for the next day. So I remember I was driving to Walmart, and I was less than a mile away from Walmart. And as I'm driving, I'm still, don't text and drive, y'all. But I was texting, trying to locate Luke to see where Luke was. Still no response. So I'm like, you know what, man? This dude, I know for a fact he's up to something he ain't got no business doing. Like, I'm sick of this. So the whole time I'm in the car, I'm calling, texting, still no response. We don't have long before we got to meet his parents, and I'm just driving. Next thing I know, it started to get somewhat dark, but it wasn't too dark. However, you know, if you have automatic lights, your lights pop on in a certain time. So our lights, well, the lights on my car popped on. So it had to be about 7, maybe 8 o'clock in that evening or whatnot. So I'm driving and I'm about to pull up at Walmart. And as I glance in the mirror, my rearview mirror, I see some bright lights and I see a vehicle that I've seen before. And I'm like, driving, who is this behind me? First of all, I can't really see. But then as I maneuvered to the next lane over, because it was like a 3-lane highway, so I moved to the next lane over, I realized I know the vehicle. So I look a little closer and I'm like, I know you lying. I know you lying. So I'm looking and it is Luke's vehicle. And how I know, because I went with him the day he got the vehicle. It was a nice SUV. But his particular SUV, the school town that we went into, were attending, the school that we attended in the town. What am I saying?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah. The school that we were going to at the time was in a town. It wasn't big, but it wasn't small. However, I knew that was his vehicle based off of the lights, because nobody else had a vehicle just like his with those particular lights. It was like some type of LED lights, but they were like a funny color in the front. And then the way his vehicle had like a particular marking on it, because it was used vehicle and somebody else owned it, and it had 1 or 2 things done to it. So I knew it was his. I'm like, dang, I went with you. So I look up and I was like, I know this so-and-so is not sitting here riding beside me and not even picking up the phone. So what do? I pick up the phone and I start dialing. I'm dialing the phone and I'm calling. It's just ringing and ringing and ringing. And his windows were kind of tinted, so I knew for a fact it was him. However, I'm riding like this, almost at Walmart. He's like adjacent to me, but behind me, like this. So I'm riding, he's riding, it's going just like that. However, I got so upset that I literally stopped my car in the middle of the street, and his vehicle kept going. So once his vehicle kept going, I got directly behind his vehicle and I followed him. And he started dodging and weaving in and out of traffic, going. It was just silly. I knew at that moment, that's when he realized it was me, because I don't think he realized it was me when I stopped the car and he just kept going. He realized it was me when I got behind him and I kept calling. So I'm calling and calling, and I'm saying all kind of crazy stuff like I'm gonna whoop him and like going off. So eventually, after about a good 2-3 minutes of him doing this dodging and weaving craziness and me following right behind him, he pulls into this dealership parking lot. And once he do that, I whoop my car right there in front of him. And I parked my car, and the way he pulled his car in, it kind of pulled it into a parking space, so he couldn't just like back out. I think, what happened? No, I parked kind of like blocking him in, so he couldn't just back out. So I jump out the car, and as I'm trying to jump out the car, I'm fumbling with my seatbelt, trying to get unloosed, and for some reason I couldn't get out of the car like right away. And I think it was because, you know how if you jerk too quick in your car, or you jerk your seatbelt too loose, it like too quick, it will like lock you in. And that's what mine was doing. The whole time it's happening, some girl hopped out his car and like started walking off like, yo, what is going on? And I was like, who the F is this? And I'm like done had my windows rolled down and stuff. So he's in his car looking crazy like out the window. The girl hop out and she get out the car. Then I could see 2 more bodies in the back seat, but it was 2 of his boys that I was cool with. So correction, that I knew, because all of them were phony. So eventually I got out my car seat and I flung my door open, and I was like, yo, what that song is? Like, I just was letting him have it. And y'all, I was so embarrassing. Like,
are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is
crazy. crazy. But I was going off on him. I wasn't letting him say nothing. The girl, she was just looking. I was like, what the F you looking at? You got a problem? So then as I'm getting out, like approaching the vehicle, I don't know where she went. She went somewhere, but she wasn't there anymore. And so then I'm going towards him, and he's sitting there looking stupid, trying to explain himself. And then literally, as I'm getting loud with him, it's like a whole switch came, and he just like exploded. And next thing I know, he calling me this name, you stupid B, you shouldn't have been following me, and why you keep calling my phone? And I was like, you stupid, da da da. It's like, yo, it was so crazy. And so I would never do it again, I'll tell you that much. So anyway, y'all, long story short, we in the parking lot looking crazy. His homeboy seeing that, like, so although we was both walking towards each other, it was like he had more aggression after a while, because I guess he was getting tired of me, like, embarrassing him. But I'm like, yo, you see me calling you literally for I don't know how long, and you're not answering the phone. And then you got a girl in your car ignoring me to do whatever it is you want to do. So then, I'm sitting there questioning him, man, we supposed to be going to see your parents. What you doing? And he was like, well, first of all, they canceled. My dad, something happened. He's at home. He's too tired now. He had to go to the doctor because he got sick. And I said, oh, so you didn't have the decency to tell me this? Like, it was a bunch of dumb stuff. So all in all, y'all, we was in that parking lot going there. His teammates eventually like separated us, and they was like, yo, chill out, man. Like, yo, and I can't remember one of the guys' name, but he was a bigger guy, but he kind of giggled. He was like, yo, I told you to pick up that phone, man. So that triggered something else in me, because I'm like, so your teammates sitting here see you calling and they telling you to pick up the phone and you not. And so then he was like, yeah, well, man, I ain't want to hear her mouth. Look how she acting now. And I was like, yeah, B, because you sitting here see me calling and you not responding, and here it is, you got this hole in the car. So anyway, like I said, I don't know what happened with that girl, but we eventually calmed down in the parking lot. And I said, you know what, man, don't talk to me no more. Don't say nothing else to me. You this, you that, da da da. So I'm going off and giving him, I was just going in on him. And then literally, I really think he was bipolar. I ain't trying to put that on nobody, but it was like within the next 10 seconds, he flipped and got soft on me, like, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Like, it was just like, I don't know, y'all, this boy was crazy. Like, it was just something wrong with him. So eventually, after all that, we calmed down in the parking lot. He was trying to hug on me and console me or whatever. And I was like, no, man, just get off of me. He was like, nah, we gonna talk about this. Like, I'm sorry, it's not even what you think. I didn't answer the phone because if I would have, then you would have, gotten upset that a girl was on the car. And then I was like, yo, it's the principle. Tell me what's going on. If I call, pick up the phone. If I'm texting you, text back. Let me know, hey, look, my parents, they not coming into town. My dad got sick. However, I'll be at your house later, or vice versa, or we not going out again. Like, tell me. And that was the thing. He was horrible at communication when he wanted to be. Ladies, gentlemen, whoever, don't ever if somebody really care for you, communication is not extremely hard, okay? So after that was said and done, I remember like leaving with tears running down my face, and I had like snot, tears, everything running down my face, and I just hopped in my car and I left. And I remember getting on the phone calling my best friend. I was like, girl, let me tell you what just happened. So I'm telling her, and like she's consoling me. She's like, look, you need to let him go. He is not even worth it. And I was like, you right. You ain't, this is crazy. I'm sick of it. So eventually I ended up going to I think I met her on campus to talk with her about the situation some more, because I didn't even want to go back to my apartment, because it's just, I just didn't want to do that. So as I'm going on campus, I'm sitting there, went on campus, I parked my car, and I think she came out and she, hopped in my car and was just like hugging me, talking to me or whatever and whatnot. And as I'm sitting in my car, I remember glancing up and I see those same bright lights like pulling up beside me. Next thing I know, it's Luke, and he rolls his window down. Hey, come to the room, because we need to talk because that was so embarrassing. And I was like, man, F you and this, that, and the third and all that. So then, like, as we fussing or whatever, I think I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go home. And she was like, all right, well, call me if you need me. And I kind of told her, like, go ahead, because I don't even want you to see none of this craziness. And she was like, nah, we good, because he ain't about to do nothing crazy. And I was like, nope, we good. I'll hit you up. So I remember, I think she dipped, and he was just still sitting there just waiting for her to leave. And then he was like, yeah, we need to talk, because you a stupid B for that one. And y'all, I lie to you not, I know it sound crazy and it don't even sound real that he was switching back and forth like that. But dude was crazy like that. Like he really had mental issues, I feel. I honestly, and I do think it was due to football, because he was an O lineman and he used to get like hit a lot, and he used to hit people and he used to take hits. So it could have been because of some like doing that, because he played football literally all his life or whatnot. So here it is, we just arguing or whatnot. So after my best friend walked away, I think he kind of like pulled his truck in front of me. And he was like, yeah, come on to my room, because it's stupid how dumb you be acting. And I was like, yeah, it's stupid how dumb you be acting. So we just, whatever he was saying, I was throwing it back to him. Like, it was just crazy. So he was like, yeah, come to the room. So I was like, I'm not going to no room with you with your stupid tail. So then, y'all, I wasn't thinking clearly. So I end up leaving my car there, and I just remember breaking down. And I remember he got out his truck. So initially my car was here, he parked like this, but then eventually he pulled directly in front of me because it was a parking space right there. And he got out the car and he got out of his SUV. He was like, well, you coming or not? And I was like, man, F you, don't worry about me. So then he was like, well, you be stupid and sit in the car anyway, yo dumb A. That's why he said something about another girl. I don't know, remember what it was verbatim. But when he said that, I switched. I got enraged and went to another level. I hopped out of that car, and as he walking, because like his location, like his place, it was literally like you walk up a slight hill and then you right there. And I remember as he's walking, he was already up on that little hill. I get out the car and slam my door, and I'm fussing at him. Now, it wasn't loud. It was just, I don't think it was that many people around. So it was the two of us outside, and I'm like running off at mouth. He was like, yeah, man, just shut the F up. And then he like jumped at me. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of jumped back like, this boy is crazy. Like, he think he gonna hit me. So the whole time, y'all, like, we're just going back and forth at it as we're walking in the building. And I remember right before we approached the building, he grabbed my arm. He was like, stop making so much effing noise. And then he kind of like shook me a little bit, like shook me. And I was like, get off me. So we just looking stupid outside. And then after that, he was like, you know what? I ain't dealing with this dumbass, bum ass. So being that he was so big, his, one step, it would take 3 of my steps to get equal his one step. So I'm sitting there trying to catch up because he started walking fast. And do y'all know that this dummy decides to let the door close on me so I can't get in? Now, mind you, he's the one that told me to come to the building. So I'm sitting there banging on the door. And I was like, open the door. He's so petty. He goes and turns around. There's like this little, there's like a little glass portion in the door. And like I said, the only way you can get in is if you have a fob to get in. And he, of course, at the door just slammed in my face. He goes, look in the little glass and start looking at me and just busting out laughing. And like, oh, y'all, I'm telling you, dealing with this boy, it literally took me to level 25 of crazy. So I'm banging on the door. I'm like, let me in with your stupid tail. And after that, y'all, he just sitting there still laughing, poking fun, looking stupid. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of part 3. I'm going to give y'all some more because it really, after a while, it really starts turning into like a really serious note. And that although there was domestic violence before, there's more to come and it gets a little more serious. But however, continue to watch. I promise y'all, I probably have 3 or 4 more videos of this, and then that'll be it of this series. If you like it, however, tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune in. I do appreciate you guys. I am on the road to my actual goals. So continue to subscribe, continue to watch, continue to like. I love the feedback. I love the comments. You all don't even know. This is actually like therapy to me, getting all this out, because no one really, I'll say about 5 people know about what has happened during that relationship, and getting a lot of this out this particular way is therapeutic to me. So without further ado, I love you guys. Stay safe. I'll see you next time. I will try to post another one within the next 2 weeks. I got a couple of things going on, like class and school and stuff. So I'm going to be kind of busy for the next few weeks. However, I'm going to make sure I try my best to post one within the next week or 2. With that said, I love you guys. See you. And